We are 3 game weeks into the new Premier League season. It has already been pulsating. Liverpool, at various points, have looked sensational. Arsenal have certainly had their moments. Manchester United, we have to drill down into them as well. But what we're going to get our teeth into straight away is the promoted teams. I think that they have been exceptional. Going through it with me and helping me focus on the big talking points of the new Premier League season is the wonderful Ade Oladipo. An honour, sir.
An honour to be here.
Welcome. Super
Do
Frank.
I need to, do
Super
I need
Frank,
to say
mate, we're
something?
waiting. We're waiting.
Do I need to say something?
What can we do?
Well, no, we'll leave it. It's your boy. It's your boy. You love him more than anyone.
Waiting.
So, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't ever put anyone else up there. It's
Okay.
Super Frank or no
I
one.
feel like you should have a time limit now.
Super Frank or no one.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. New season underway.
Yes.
I mean, look, obviously, Ade, you're a Liverpool fan, so you're going to be incredibly over the moon with what you've seen so far for so many reasons.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, if you wouldn't mind, just indulge me. I want to talk about the promoted clubs.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
Sunderland, they've won 2 games already.
Incredible.
It's amazing, isn't it? Leeds United, some positive
Big
results.
teams, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always think about sort of who's coming up and sort of their history in football. And just the idea, like, I don't care how many times Leeds have been relegated. Me, from a Liverpool standpoint, going to Ellen Road, I know it's a tough game.
Yeah, I agree.
You just know it's a tough game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, going to the Stadium of Light. Is it still called the Stadium of Light?
Yeah.
You know it's a tough game. So you know these ones are always tough. And Turf Moor's always tough as well, just because of the history they've sort of had over the years of going there and getting a point being a good thing.
Yeah.
Scott Parker, good manager, experienced manager, knows the league well as a player. So I am surprised. Let me not pretend I'm not, because I had all 3 to go back down, I think. But they've spent a lot, all 3. Big players.
That's what you have to do.
Sunderland have spent $250 million.
Yeah, and so they should have done.
Yeah.
And so they should have done. When you get the opportunity to play into the Premier League, even if it is premature, what you need to do is take that opportunity, right? Even if you think that maybe you shouldn't have been there or maybe they didn't expect to be there, they're there.
Yeah.
So what you need to do in that moment is go, right, we're here now, we're never being relegated again. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure that we become one of the established
Smart
Premier League
signings
teams.
as well. Like, I think me and you did a video on it when Sunderland said they're going to go for Granit Xhaka and was like, why is he leaving Bayer Leverkusen to go to Sunderland? Like, it makes no sense. All of a sudden he's been given captaincy and now you think it makes sense. Experience, they've got such a young squad. And he comes in, what's Granit Xhaka, 32, 33? And automatically you think, okay, he elevates that side tenfold.
Yeah. On some metric, you could argue that Granit Xhaka is the best Premier League signing that anyone has made this summer. On some level. The fact that they have taken him from a team that were in the Champions League. He was an ever-present, a key component of that record-breaking Xabi Alonso team. He is about as Premier League proven as you can be. Big game player. And he has gone to Sunderland to play in that position that he is so desperately needed. Like you saw it first day of the season. When Sunderland put in that outrageously brilliant performance, it was him.
Yeah.
It was him that set the tone.
He marshals. Yeah, that's the perfect phrase. He sets the tone.
Yeah.
He tells everyone, this is what you're going to need to survive in this league.
Yeah.
I don't know how many players in that Sunderland squad have ever played in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? There can't be that many. There can't be that many. Maybe a handful.
And a lot of them that have will be the ones that they signed.
Yeah.
Xhaka, Dingra, players like that.
Yeah.
So no, I think Sunderland have been brilliant. I think that they deserve an awful lot of credit. Burnley have already got a win. They've already got points on the table.
And very unlucky not to get a point against United.
Very unlucky.
Very, very unlucky.
And that will give them belief.
Yeah.
And then obviously we have to acknowledge Leeds United.
Mate.
Like I wasn't particularly impressed with their transfer dealings, but when you saw them take a point off Newcastle United, big point.
Leeds are a big team.
Yeah.
Leeds are such a big team. So it doesn't... Look, I have to be honest, I was a bit concerned with Daniel Farke. I was like... remember there was an argument pre-season about whether or not they
Sack
get rid of him
anyway,
and they just get someone else and like, well done, you did us well, but you're not going to be able to keep us in the league. And look, we're going early here. Ultimately, come May they could struggle, but so far so good for all of them. But they are now helped by the rubbish.
Well, they're going to need people to take their place. Yeah. So they're going to need it to go massively wrong for Brentford, for West Ham, for Wolves. Wolves haven't won, have they?
No.
Wolves haven't won a game.
Wolves haven't got a point. Wolves are on 0 points. They can't score goals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like Wolves are really... Look, Wolves are a struggling team with Cunha.
Yeah.
And then you lose your best player.
Yeah.
And Nouri. Do you know what I mean? There you go.
Are you confident then that at least one of those Premier League teams that came up, the new teams that came up, will survive? At least one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2.
And I think the Championship needs that.
Yeah.
Because it almost became a thing where it's
belief.
like, well, we're coming up, but we're going to go down. We're coming up, but we're going to go down. Now, all of a sudden, if you're one of those teams in the Championship now, you're thinking maybe we can bridge that gap. Because I almost thought it was a gap too far. But
For
again,
2 years it was.
They've spent so much money to bridge that gap.
Yeah. No, and
like they can offer wages now. Like, think about it. Granit Xhaka is probably on more at Sunderland than he was at Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah. No, I know that's
Do you know
that's
how crazy
to do with
that
the
is?
power and
That's
the
what I'm
power
saying.
of the Premier League.
So a championship team coming up can pay you more than a Champions League team. So I think the gap's being bridged because of the wages.
Yeah, I know, and it's good. Do you know who we need to focus on now?
Go on.
Manchester United.
Oh, man.
Do you know?
Well, I love doing this.
Do you know
I roll up my sleeves to do this.
There was a moment, Ade, and I don't know if this is sort of because of my friendship with Adam McCullough that via osmosis he's sort of like indoctrinated me to believe that they were going to be something else. But he told me that he was on the pre-season tour to the States.
Yeah.
And he said they were unbeaten in pre-season. He was around the camp. They get access.
Yeah.
You know, the
really good access, by the way.
They get access
really
when
good
they're
access.
in America.
Yeah.
So he said that he was around the camp. He saw that it was harmonious. He saw that there was a good atmosphere. He saw that everyone was pulling in the same direction. And when I hear that from a friend, first-hand experience, wrongly perhaps, I kind of believed it. I thought, okay, maybe they're going to be all right. They've made some interesting signings. They're going to get it right. And do you know what? I was so dumb. I should have just followed my own instincts with regard to Manchester
100%.
United. Last year, Ruben Amorim showed us who he was. He's being the exact same person this year.
Okay, so it's a Ruben Amorim problem for you as opposed to
I think
a
it's
player
probably
issue.
an institution problem. It's the problem at the club, but the manager is the public face of the club.
Yeah.
And I think that his conduct has been poor as well.
Yeah, I think the signings have been awful. I was going back and forth with someone on Twitter. I know you always tell me don't do it, but sometimes
never
you
reply to
get
it.
roped in, don't you?
YouTube, man.
You get-
YouTube's your community.
You get
YouTube
roped
your
in. You
people.
get roped in, and I think at the back, I can't remember what game it was, but at the back there, Lenny Yoro, De Ligt, and Luke Shaw. And I think I tweeted something like, "If that's your defense, you're done." And he said, "Our defense isn't the problem. We don't concede goals. We just don't score them." I'm like, dude, if you think that's good enough.
Yeah.
Like Luke
Yeah,
Shaw, who barely can play a
it's
football
completely
game.
wrong.
I was like, you. That's how bad you've fallen.
Yeah.
Mate, they're an horrendous side at the moment.
No, they are horrendous, and it's all very well. People are quite complimentary about their transfer window. Firstly, they didn't sign any volume of players. Like there wasn't enough that went in there. Like all of those players last year, and the public face of that would be Bruno Fernandes, the captain of the team that finished 15th in the league and lost the European final to Tottenham. The only person that really paid with his place in the team is Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah.
Like I know, say Garnacho's left, but he's left because he was badly behaved.
Yeah.
Everybody else has kept their jobs. There hasn't been like a shake-up off the back of the worst season that they've had. Like, how have they not kind of gone, regardless of how good you think Bruno Fernandes is, you were the captain of a team that finished 15th in the league and lost to Tottenham in the European final. That's not acceptable.
Yeah.
Like that's just not acceptable. And then they've gone into the transfer market and they scored 44 goals last year. So they obviously needed to bring in goal scorers, and they've done that. But the midfield is the same. The defence is the same. The goalkeeper. Like, I know they made that emergency signing from Royal Antwerp, but...
Who is that? Shocking.
No idea.
I don't know how the Emi Martinez one fell through at the end. I felt they were going to get
was
Martinez.
crying. He was desperate
he wanted
to sign,
go,
yeah.
so it's weird how that kind of just fell through. Look, they have improved the front line, I think. Improved it on paper. I don't know how good Benjamin Šeško is. We always had this question like, okay, you can score goals in that league. How can you?
Yeah.
What can you do in the Premier League? We kind of understand what Cunha and Mbeumo are, but I think people got a bit too overly excited about who those two are. Good players.
Yeah, good players.
But you've not brought in world level players. You've brought in good players. You've elevated your front line.
The
midfield,
front three,
the engine room's the problem.
If they'd signed, say they'd signed Donnarumma, the front three as it is, plus Baleba, plus Donnarumma, I think you then go, okay, it's a good window. But any window where you do not tackle the major problems in the squad,
There's too many, dude.
you've got Bruno Fernandes, like the two better players that they had last year, the two standout players last season for Manchester United. I think it's fair to say Bruno Fernandes, Amad Diallo.
Yeah, fair.
In this system, you've got Amad Diallo playing as a wing-back. You've got Bruno Fernandes playing as a defensive midfielder alongside Casemiro. You've got Kobe Mainoo on the bench. It's a disaster. It's all down to Amorim,
I don't know what's happened because sometimes I do feel like, could a top manager go in and look at that midfield and look at the option and think, okay, wait, there's actually a midfield here? Because, I mean, you know Mason Mount far better than I do. And I'm like, Mason Mount surely hasn't dropped off the cliff that much. Kobe Mainoo, Ugate's there, Bruno Fernandes. Like, I look at it and I see a 3 or 4 out of that and I'm thinking, there's something to play with here. But he's just not getting it right.
I agree. I think that the problem that Amorim has is that there is no pragmatism. He's a total devotee to this system.
Yeah.
And you know when you have that dogmatic approach where you cannot deviate at all.
Ange Postecoglou for ages, isn't it?
Cannot, until he did.
Until he did. The one game he did, yeah.
Until he did. But you see, you've got this situation now where Bruno Fernandes doesn't have a place in the team and he's the best player at the club. You've got a situation where Kobe Mainoo is on the bench. However, like Manchester United are not good enough to have a player of Kobe Mainoo's qualities not in the first 11.
What would you do in terms of that three in the midfield? What would your three be then?
I'd change the formation altogether, and what a good manager needs to do is get Bruno Fernandes, Kobe Mainoo, probably Casemiro, maybe Mason Mount in the same team.
The fact that Casemiro is even a conversation still, and even being mentioned, shows how bad they are.
Yeah, but he's the best out of that position. He's better than Agate.
Yeah,
he's better than Agate.
Yeah.
But because of this formation,
they are throwing when you say he's better than Agate, and I think they just bought him. They're throwing so much money at nonsense that's not working.
Luis Enrique's most impressive moment of magic last year wasn't winning the European Cup. It was getting 50 million quid for Agate. Yeah. No, I think they're in a terrible situation, and I see no reason why anyone at Manchester United should look at Amorim and his contribution to the club, and then look at Kobe Mainoo and his contribution to the club, and go, if it's one or the other, it's Amorim. Kobe Mainoo was a man of the match in Manchester United winning the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Kobe Mainoo started for England in a European final.
Do you think it's something else with Kobe Mainoo?
No. No, it's system.
No, so you don't think there's an off-field issue?
No.
Okay.
I think I really don't.
I don't. He doesn't look like he's got that. You're right. But obviously, look, he had those problems with Sancho. He had those problems with Garnacho, and I hope that Kobe Mainoo is not kind of falling into that.
No, mate, I really don't think.
I just wonder because I agree with you though, because from a footballing standpoint,
you're looking to find a reason.
I'm trying to find a reason as to why.
Yeah,
why isn't he getting a fix out of him, mate? They finished 15th last season. They could finish 15th this season.
Yeah,
I'm not joking. I think they are so bad.
Mate, do you think they sack him? Because it feels to me like have you seen their next fixtures? Like the next 5, it goes Man City, Chelsea, Brentford, Sunderland, Liverpool. So in the next 5, they play Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool.
Mate, it's not. No. You've done it wrong.
Yeah,
they play Brentford, Sunderland. I'm not. Yeah, it's those. Yeah, because I think most fans are like, if they have a good game, it's the Brentford and Sunderland. They get beat by Brentford and Sunderland. There's a problem.
Did you see that stat when he'd managed 29 games and he'd accrued 28 points, more games than management? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and I don't understand why Amorim gets away with it, but he does. Yeah. He does. Like he should.
Because he's so. I think Jamie Carragher said it quite well. He's very pragmatic in his press conferences. He makes you feel like you're part of a play, some sort of theatre production, and he says it how it wants as well. He speaks so openly, and you're like, okay, he's telling the truth. We are rubbish. But that's not how it's supposed to be.
No, that's not what you're supposed to do.
No, I want you to win games. Yeah. I want you to find out a formation that's going to win us games. Yeah. And you're not doing it.
No,
honestly. But dude, I can't believe we're having this conversation in 2025 about Man United not being a top 10 team. Like, I grew up and they were dominating.
No, the best that they can get this season is top half.
There's never been a big team, apart from Juventus getting relegated from Serie A, there's never been a big team that's fallen off. Like when you think of the Giants, Bayern Munich would never ever finish 10th.
No.
You know what I mean? Real Madrid. You know what I mean? These Giants would never finish. Ajax, to be fair, struggled a bit, but most Giants find a way.
I know. It's a mess. It's a mess, and it's not much better across the city. I was really surprised at how Man City have started this season.
Very.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah, they were. I wouldn't say the dark horses because it's City, but you always felt like, okay, City could just win 10 in a row.
Mate,
and they could win the league.
In our prediction video, I had them second, you had them third. I'm already ready to say that's not going to be the case.
Yeah. Remember we did a video though, it didn't go out, people. It didn't go out, but me and you did a video where I said Pep could go. Remember that? I said he could go. Like he might just think, I can't be arsed. Yeah. I can't rebuild this. Like there's not enough here to rebuild.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, I look at their defence. I mean, Rodri's come back and he's not going to be the Rodri pre-injury. It's impossible. He's not 21. Like the legs have gone a bit. Bernardo Silva's legs have completely gone. Foden, I mean, it's his cousin turning up, isn't it? Because it's not Foden anymore.
I just can't work it out. And also, Pep Guardiola himself is making mistakes. Like I feel like the club have almost slowed down as well. Do you know where I thought it went a little bit wrong for them? City, when they were at their best, would always replace the very best with the very best.
Good job.
That's how they did things, right? So, for example, when Aguero finished, the best possible option to replace Aguero was Haaland, and they went and got him. Do you know what I thought was a bit different?
And we're like, when Fernandinho was coming to the end, Rodri.
Yeah, you constantly get the very best that you can find.
Agreed.
Regardless of the cost. I thought it was weird. The best that they could have possibly signed to replace they needed a new midfield.
Yeah.
And the best midfielder that was on the market in the last transfer window was Florian Wirtz. And there was a period where Florian Wirtz was completely destined for Man City. And then they went and they said, they went for Shirky because they thought Shirky was better value and they thought they could be. And, there's a world where Shirky could go on to have a better career than Florian Wirtz. Who knows? But it didn't feel like the Man City way to me. Yeah. It really didn't feel like
it's almost like they waved the white flag and said, "Okay, we'll go." It almost seemed if you could reverse it, that would be Liverpool 5 years ago.
Yeah, like Liverpool would have got Shirky.
They get Wirtz.
Yeah.
And we're like trying to sort of bridge the gap, and Shirky will become that player.
Yeah.
Yeah. They. I wonder if they're backing Pep like they used to, because maybe they think time's coming to an end. Like, why back a manager?
But they did spend a lot of money in the January, and it just hasn't really gone their way.
None of those players have really worked.
No, it hasn't. It's been all right. It's been all right, but no, I think it's a very weird situation at Man City.
They've
now
had
because
5 or 6 though drop off at exactly the same time.
Yeah,
like
which is hard.
Foden, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan all went vroom. Yeah. So they're all the creative geniuses have all literally just gone vroom.
Yeah, but they knew that was coming. Yeah. And what you need to do is like prepare for the next dynasty. You need to constantly be evolving. And I think that Pep Guardiola is getting it wrong. Like everything that he taught us about who he was last year, he lost 9 out of 11 games. 9 out of 11 games he lost. And he kept his job. This season was supposed to be a clean slate, but all of those problems from last year are rearing their head again.
And it's interesting because you mentioned Wirtz there, Declan Rice as well.
Declan
Rice, you know what I mean? And I know they were in for Paquetá, and obviously he was going for the situation, but situation
Rice was the better player. Rice was the better player to get. Yeah.
Even Paquetá, they've kind of decided that isn't working. And you're like, why are you not going for all these players you've been linked to? And then
Jude Bellingham. Do you remember when Bellingham at one point looked destined for City and obviously didn't?
And look at Jack. Look what he's done since he's left and he's gone to Everton. All of a sudden, Everton have said, like, do what you used to do at Villa. Doku's not worked. Doku's not landed.
It's so difficult though, isn't it? Because as soon as you have these conversations about Guardiola, people do this. He won 4 in a row. He won a treble. He's a centurion. And you're like, he won a domestic treble. And you kind of go, yeah.
They're right, though.
No, they're right. No, they're right. They're absolutely right about the history. And if we're talking about where does Guardiola rank, I have no issue with saying he's the second best manager to have ever managed in this country Premier League era.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that he's the best man for the job today. That doesn't mean that he's the best manager in the league today. Jose Mourinho's record is outrageously impressive.
There's weird things he's doing, like this Edison Donnarumma thing.
Yeah, it doesn't chime with
Edison has been... Like, Edison, Alisson, Raya now have been the best goalkeepers in the league for like nearly a decade.
Yeah.
And he can do everything. And then Donnarumma comes who can't play it with his feet. Like, why are you getting rid of Edison?
The reason that Luis Enrique has decided that Donnarumma isn't right is because he can't really start their attacks.
Yeah.
Manchester City, under Guardiola, were almost the architects of that theory. You know, like Edison starting the attack. Edison having the ability to play like a central midfielder.
Yeah. Even the way in which... He normally, as you say, he normally knows the batteries are running out of his players and replaces them very quickly. I know Akanji's gone, but I can see it in John Stones. The legs have gone. He's been a good servant for them in England. Ruben Dias isn't that anymore.
No.
And you're thinking, where's that dominant centre back?
Yeah.
Like, why haven't you said, bang, we're taking him?
Yeah. I think the year is over. I really do.
I hope it is because it lasted too long.
If I said they finished second in the league. I really don't think they're anything like that.
Second anymore.
I really don't.
No,
I think they're struggling.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Who surprised you the most 3 games in? Like, what team you're like? Oh, 1 second, they've surprised.
Probably one of the relegated. Probably one of the relegated. Probably one of the promoted sides.
Okay.
They're the sides that have really shocked me. And do you know to a degree Everton?
Mate, that's what I thought he was going to say. They've shocked me.
Yeah.
Everton have shocked me a little bit.
All of the promoted sides, which is why I kicked this video off talking about them, because I think they deserve it.
Yeah, of course they do.
But also, Everton.
I had Everton struggling. I was like, new ground, they're going to struggle. No atmosphere.
Man.
Good signings.
Mate, you know those kind of signings as well, like footballers, techie footballers, Dibbling, Dewsbury Hall, Grealish.
Yeah, socks down footballers. Give me the ball on the turn.
It's going to work.
Yeah.
It's going to work at Everton. Yeah. The fans are going to love it.
And it's not David Moyes. This is funny thing is, they're not his type of footballers, are they? Or are they? Because he did have Doku and Paquetá and Jarrod Bowen, so he knows how to handle those type of players. He really got
a tune out of Paquetá. He in the
day... He got a tune out of...
Arteta.
Yeah.
Like when he was manager. Arteta.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's kind of just letting them play, isn't he? Yeah. He's letting them play. Like I saw I'm sure everybody's seen it, but did you see Jack Grealish when he was over at the fans? And they pulled him back in. He's
perfect.
I love Grealish so much. I love him.
Yeah, no.
I just think he's a boy.
I'm as happy that... He's only 28, 29, isn't he, Grealish?
Yeah, I'd love him.
I'm as happy that he's been locked down. I think Thomas
Tuchel takes him. I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I'd love him to. He should.
Not sure.
And he deserves it, Grealish.
Yeah.
I just love him. I think he'll
have a good season. He will be that maverick. I do think Everton will drop off a little bit, but he'll be the maverick that keeps them definitely up.
Do you know what I thought with Everton? Before a ball was kicked off the back of, the Grealish signing, I thought top half definitely. Once
the
they got Grealish. Before that, I was a bit shakier. They got Grealish in, and I was like, that makes them a top half club, which is the first. It's the first.
Yeah,
acceptable.
Especially considering where they've been for the last 5 seasons.
For a club the size of Everton, it's the first period of acceptability.
Okay,
you are in the top half. Mm-hmm. Now you're looking at it, and they brought in Dibbling and obviously Dewsbury Hall, and you sort of go, sometimes it just clicks for a team. Yeah. It don't have to be the best team in the league. Sheffield United, they don't have to be the best team. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yeah. And they just fly up the table. Yeah, Nottingham Forest last year.
Nottingham Forest
Wolves under Espirito Santo.
Yeah, and you look, they got the England goalkeeper, and Pickford doesn't concede. I'm not a big fan of him, but he doesn't concede.
No, Branthwaite.
Yeah, Branthwaite, Tarkowski, Michael Keane. They got experience at the back. Do you know what I mean?
Dogged
experience. Like put a naughty challenging experience. Yeah. So they've got that, and now they've got playmakers. Yeah. What they don't have is a good number 9. That's the only issue. They don't have a good number 9,
and they're very difficult to come by.
Yeah.
But if they can score enough goals from the middle, and then depending on how it's going, like if they're touching Europe in January,
achievement.
But if they're touching Europe, they might go out into the market.
Then you find someone.
Might go out into the market.
All right, when are we going to talk about Liverpool? What's going on?
Yeah, I think it has to be now.
Thank you very much.
I think it has to be. I think it has to be now. I mean, they are about as perfect as it. Everything has gone about as perfectly. Should we start on the slight negative?
Go on.
How put out were you with the lack of the Mark Gahey signing on the final day?
It killed me. You know what killed me? Because your video made me feel like we're going to take over the world. I watched your video.
Did you watch it? The one that was done?
Yeah. And he's like, it's done. And he's like, best in class. And I was like, yes, Rory's hit the nail on the head.
He is that.
Of course he is that. And one thing about Van Dijk, doesn't get a rest.
No.
Doesn't get a rest. Like, you have to play Van Dijk.
Yeah, what you would get with Gahey,
90 minutes.
Gahey's a player that can play with Van Dijk, but he's also a player that can play instead of Van Dijk.
I can see Gahey and Gomez or Gahey and Konate, and I feel comfortable. On occasion, but I feel comfortable. Like, okay, we're playing a big game. Van Dijk needs a rest.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. I think it feels right for Liverpool. Van Dijk and Konate is fine. Van Dijk and Joe Gomez is fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite feel right. Konate and Joe Gomez.
It's a heart attack.
No.
I'd rather have Gravenberch back there. That's how scary that is for me. So Gahey was that. And Gahey was almost, let's not forget, Konate's not renewed his contract yet. So Konate's deal ends end of the season. I'd have been very comfortable, like,
what if you've got Gahey?
Yeah, if you're going to...
Do you know what, though?
Remember, we signed that young kid from Italy as well. So
Leone.
So I'm happy with Gahey.
Do you know what, though?
I still think we'll get him in January.
I think Konate gets a lot of unfair stick because I think he's a good player. And I know he had a shaky start to the season, but he was immense. Colossus against
Arsenal.
It is?
You know what it feels with him? And you're right, he's a good player and everyone's different. Everything feels like a last-ditch tackle. Like it's either
it's hyper. It's hyper defending.
It's Gary Cahill or hyper defending.
Whereas
I want a bit more controlled. Like you don't have to slide. Like if you're slide tackling, there's a reason you're slide tackling. That's been my thought process.
Yeah, that's sometimes. The Maldini. It was Maldini, wasn't it? If you're slide tackling, it means you're putting in a mistake. I don't necessarily agree with that theory, by the way.
And his injuries used to scare me a bit.
Yeah,
it always felt like he went off, didn't he, against Arsenal? You always feel like there's an injury away because everything is last ditch. Everything is whereas Gahey looks a bit more controlled. Obviously knows the league, and I feel like him and Van Dijk. And he will, but
I think he will probably end up a Liverpool player at some point.
Anything, and you know this, anything can happen between now and January.
Yeah,
like it could be an injury.
Yeah,
it could be this Leone kid comes on, and all of a sudden it's like, well, we don't really need to spend 35 because he's now coming.
Yeah.
Joe Gomez.
That's true, but
like anything could happen.
But I do think Gahey ends up at Liverpool.
Yeah, there must have been a conversation between the owners. Like, all right, look.
Yeah, we'll give you get a bit longer with him. You have longer to find his replacement. Yeah. But in terms of like focusing on the positive, I mean, it's 9 points from 9. You've already beaten title rivals Arsenal. You're scoring goals for fun. Alexander Isak.
Szoboszlai right back.
Szoboszlai
right back.
Alexander Isak is in.
Don't do that.
You are about as clear-cut favourites for the title as anyone could possibly be.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
I said no, didn't I, the other day on your video? I was like, no. Yeah. Now I believe we are. Because I don't even think everyone, as you said, we've not even played well. Let's be honest. I mean, Bournemouth haven't played well against them, didn't play well against Newcastle. You had to rely on a 16-year-old to get us out of there. Szoboszlai free kick. We played okay against Arsenal, but yet we're top of the table, 9 from 9. And I still feel like there's so much to come. Kirkheads will be better.
You haven't even started yet.
No. Wirtz hasn't landed yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And potentially, Wirtz for me should be playing from the left. So really, it should be Wirtz, Isak and Salah. And I'm like...
But this is the beauty of it. This is the beauty of this new-look Liverpool team. And you know that Slot is a genius who will work it out. You have the ability to play many different formations. Like, there's something so brilliant about that. Like, you know, when I did the overlap the other day, Scholes was talking about this, and I thought, God, I never really thought about that before, but it was so impressive. He said it must be so brilliant to play against this current Manchester United team because you know exactly who's going to play.
Good shout.
You know exactly what's going to happen. Whereas when you look at this Liverpool team, you think presumably they'll play 4-3-3, and it will be last year's midfield with Ekitike on one side, Isak through the middle, and Salah on the other side.
Yeah.
But equally, it might not be that.
No.
Equally, what it might be is a 4-2-3-1 with the three behind Isak being Wirtz in the middle, Ekitike on one side, and Salah on the other. Yeah. So until the team sheet comes through the door an hour before kickoff, you don't know who you're playing against.
Dude, what I saw against Arsenal, much like Slot's either a genius or they just work it out themselves, and I'd like to think that it's a bit of both. Yeah,
it's Slot.
Mate, Szoboszlai went into the middle. Gravenberch came, made it a free with Konate and Van Dijk, and it just looked so comfortable. And because Szoboszlai is a midfielder, like he is, you know, like what we were asking Trent to do, and this isn't a Trent dig. Like when Trent went into the midfield, he's not a midfielder. Do you know what I mean? He's not. So everyone's asking him to do midfield things, and it's like, well, he's not a midfielder. Szoboszlai is a midfielder. So he just walks into there like, I'm home.
He's happy.
And he can ping the ball as well, left and right.
Szoboszlai, when I was sort of trying to predict what the Florian Wirtz sign, this is a long time ago now, but what the Florian Wirtz signing would have meant for Szoboszlai,
done.
I thought it was
on
curtains.
The bench. Yeah.
Do you know how much respect I have for a player who, maybe it was never the case, but potentially had his place in the team in jeopardy?
And
all he does is work and prove that he is totally and utterly indispensable to the team.
Agreed.
Anyone, and I might have been in the minority, I might have been on my own, but there was one person in the world, certainly, and that person was me, who said, I could see Szoboszlai not really playing next year.
No, mate.
And Szoboszlai went, shut up,
I think when everyone... No. True, you're right, though. When everyone done their... Okay, this is the formation. You know, everyone does that. He wasn't in anyone. I didn't see him in anyone's
because
formation.
He was the attacking midfielder last year, and you just signed one of the best attacking midfielders in Europe.
And Slot said, okay, look, you're going to play right back against Newcastle, Anthony Gordon. So, and he's going to... You know, Anthony Gordon just going to... And then you're going to play right back against Arsenal. It's going to be Martinelli, and it's going to be Eze. And he's handled all three just like that. Do you know what I mean? I think he's done.
He's a remarkable player, and he deserves it. And I quite like him. I quite like him, and now I really like him because I admire his ethic and determination massively. I just can't really see how it's going to go wrong.
The biggest thing, normally it goes wrong because of Mo Salah going to the African Cup. All of a sudden, not like, you know, we won't miss him. All of a sudden, you're like, okay, you can go, it's fine because Wirtz will play on that side. And Ekitike for the moment, Isak or whatever. Like, we've got now options.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, we'll see. I'm still upset about Luis Diaz going, I have to be honest. I hate the idea.
Do you think, I heard Carragher talking. Carragher said that Liverpool teams over the years have really thrived and benefited from being labelled underdogs. Like, even the brilliant teams, even the Mane, Firmino, Salah team, it was still an underdog because it was Guardiola you were up against. Despite the brilliance of that Mane team, you were up against City, and therefore you were the underdogs. Even the Liverpool team that Carragher would have played in, you were often the underdogs, and you succeeded as underdogs. You're no longer the underdogs. There's a kind of cultural shift.
There's a big pressure on it.
Do you think?
Yeah, there's massive pressure on it. That's why Salah in about 7 interviews I've seen him has been like Arsenal favourites. Have you noticed he's been doing that?
Mate,
and he
was
openly
laughing
said
his head off.
Yeah.
I saw him do it, and he looked at Van Dijk. They were mocking him.
Yeah.
They were mocking him.
They know what they're doing.
They were their favourites.
But that's why I'm happy though that there are experienced pros in that dressing room that are just not going to let the standards dip. Robertson, I'm so happy he's there and he's been made vice captain, so he knows he's going to get his minutes now. Shimikas has gone. Alisson, Van Dijk, Salah.
Yeah.
And then you forget about Liverpool have got like, and I keep saying this to people, Liverpool have got like, I think 6 or 7 international captains in their ranks. Yeah. No other club has that.
All good teams do that. All good teams over the years
have had captains like that.
Yeah, Chelsea with that. Chelsea when it was Czech, Terry, Lampard, Drogba, Ashley Cole, Michael Essien, Michael Ballack. Is international captain after international captain, Ricardo Carver, international captain.
Experience in there. That's not going to let the standards drop. Like you come in and no mucking around, no partying, no nothing.
No, that is absolutely how you need it. It's been an enthralling start to the season. Absolutely love it. Obviously now we have the rude interruption of the international break.
Hate it.
But after those first 3 games, it's immense, isn't it? We are in for
Premier League is back.
A really big season.
Premier League is back.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oladipo. The link to Ade's YouTube channel is in the description below. He's hit 100,000 subscribers, which is amazing and well deserved. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a like. Please do click subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Ta-da.